All righty, folks. Welcome all. This is going to be a quick one. We're going to run through the 5 content mistakes that are keeping you invisible. AI is going to result in 2 things. Number 1, people that are doing AI things will become wealthy. Fact. And number 2, people who are doing personal branding things will stay important. That's it. So you've got the AI lane and you've got the personal branding lane. Now, if you're in the tech space, if you're leading a company, you're in the finance world where I come out of, and you are not building your personal brand, you are susceptible to the AI takeover. AI is going to make push button copying of every software easy. And so what separates you in the future is going to be those folks who have a personal brand. So that is my firm belief. I'm going to do a quick presentation here to walk you through what should you be doing to build that personal brand. This is a presentation I put together about 10 minutes ago. No kidding. We're testing out some software here, and it should only take about 10 minutes. So here you go. This is going to be the 5 content mistakes that are keeping you invisible. If you are a founder, if you are leading a firm of any type, solopreneur, creator, CEO on Wall Street. Some of my clients are executive advisors to Fortune 500 companies. These types of folks are just as susceptible. So what should you be doing? Good question, Mark. Let's run through it. 5 things. Number 1, one second. There we are. Treating content like it's your diary, right? Number 1 is you should be using content strategically. You want to use it to educate, tell stories, and invite people towards whatever it is your firm does. That could be your product or service. It might be your personal freelancing stuff. It doesn't matter. If you're a big B2B, you're a small B2C, the concept is the same. You need to be establishing authority, and you do that through education. So by providing actionable value, and I'm going to highlight like a Justin Welsh or a Dan Coe, excellent at doing that. People who make content that's entertaining, like a Mr. Beast, that's fine. No issue there. But from a business perspective, no good. You are in the business world. If you're looking to try to land clients, you want to grow your authority in their space, education. Number 2, educating is easy, right? AI, push button, press, give me the top 10 lists, all the crap, templatized bull crap we see out there on LinkedIn. Too easy to make. What you need to overlay that with is the storytelling. I went through 30 years on Wall Street. Some of it was great. Some of it was not so great. I'll share those nitty-gritty details with you guys. Those stories convey the principles and lessons. So, for example, I was a top-selling salesperson in many of the investment banks I worked at on the electronic trading desk because I wrote a weekly column around electronic trading. I'm not special. I'm not bragging. I'm just telling you my story. There was a time where I got a phone call from a large client. They wanted to take me out to lunch, steak dinners in Manhattan. I'm expecting a job offer. I go. Sure enough, there is a job at stake here. It's a big one, multi-millions of dollars, but it's not for me. They're bringing someone into their C-suite, and this bank wants to know if I thought they were a good hire or not. What the hell am I doing in this dinner, lunch setting? And I realized, it's because I post content. And the guy came out and said to me, Mark, you're the voice of the space. We know you know it inside and out. We're curious what you think about this guy. So then I was like, I'm a consultant. I'm not just a sales guy. And so that little story is the true story of what got me thinking, gosh, I should be doing a content strategy thing. Invitations. Nobody wants to be pounded and pitched. They want to be invited into something. And if I invite you to learn more is very different than if I say, let me DM you my stuff. So inviting people. The content you put out there has to be built strategically to educate, tell stories, and invite people to the next level, right? And you do that by posting what the folks need, not what you feel. Mistake number 1, don't just post. Mistake number 2, branding is not vanity. It's strategy, right? So if you're branding just because you want to get famous, wrong approach. This is about business. I don't care to be famous. I don't care if you're famous. What you care about is that the people who are the ideal fit for your product or service know it and want to do business with you. So that means things like discussing the problem that you solve. What is specifically the niche you serve? Why are you great at what you do? This all builds up to your authority in the space. So for example, AI has taken over the world and is in the process of invalidating many of the softwares and the moats of the companies that have long established. That's the fact. I serve folks who are trying to become better known in their space to separate themselves from the competitor using these social channels, content and strategic communication. That's the niche. Why am I great at that? Because I did 30 years of face-to-face selling of AI's trading software to hedge funds in other countries, in person, airplanes, 9 countries in 5 days, that sort of thing. So presentation to an oak panel boardroom about technology that nobody understood to get them to give us multi-millions of dollars. That's my background. I'm not bragging. I'm just telling you that that's what makes me the authority in expressing the communication principles here. And so you put that all together for yourself. What's the market need you solve? How do you guys specifically solve it? Whatever it is. And then why you? You need to have this different, this is basically positioning and messaging. And that establishes your authority position. So branding is what people will know this as. Marketing, it's called sales, personal brand, executive brand. I don't care the terminology. The bottom line is people buy from people they know, like, and trust. And content is the first step to doing that. So branding has to become strategic. Mistake number 3. You're not a generalist. Nobody cares that you generally do stuff, right? I help businesses grow. What the hell does that mean? If I tell you my specialty, this is my lane, this is what I do, right? I'm a content advisor is very different from I help technology founders monetize their reputation with strategic content. I will sit with you and I will work out the exact words you should say, the exact content you should post, and the exact messaging you should deliver it with. That's a very different thing than just I help businesses grow. So whatever you do, start working on the message, making sure you're different, making sure that it's an interesting methodology you bring that no one else does. So these are all aspects of not being a generalist, because when you're everything to everyone, you're nobody. So you got to sharpen your message no matter who you are, because in an AI world, when I can literally have the machinery end-to-end can just go and take a look at your website and be like, yeah, reproduce LinkedIn, boom, here's a working UI now. That's a very scary proposition for firms where their patent protection and trademarks are all they ever had in the old days. The reality is right now with IP protection or lack of protection, I can have my software, AI driven, copy your software without copying your software. I can achieve the functionality you do without copying any or violating any of your IP. Yeah. So what becomes the differentiator then is you, the messaging. And what I mean by that, someone can copy what SpaceX is doing. They can. You can, if you have the brains, you can build launch pads that have chopsticks that catch rockets that come down. You can do all that, theoretically. But Elon is running the show over there. So odds are high that he's going to come up with the next big thing. That's what folks are betting on. Not, yeah, it's cool, we're making money with SpaceX. It's Elon's in charge. I'm sure we're going to have a tunnel to Mars soon, right? This is the belief in Steve Jobs' ability to find the next thing. Humongous and well proven. So this is about personal brand. This is what you need to be doing. And this isn't just for tech folk. This is for any company. Procter & Gamble, General Motors, it's all the same. So don't be a generalist. Make sure people know what your specialty is and why. Mistake number 4. You don't care about followers, folks. Honestly, you care about relationships. I come from 30 years of face-to-face handshake relationships where I make a mistake. A person calls me up and is like, dude, that's going to cost me money, right? At a trading desk. And I can easily be like, yes, sorry. That's, you were unclear in your communication. Or this guy's a buddy and I don't want to lose the relationship. It's going to cost me $50,000 to fix this, make it right. We're going to make it right because I have to go face this guy the next day. So my point is that is a very different approach from the churn and burn, black shirt, tight-fitting marketing bro who used to be an NFT guy and is now pitching you on the guru personal branding stuff. This is not about churn of get new leads. How many new leads, invitations do you get in your inbox? I know I do. For LinkedIn right now, off the charts. So instead of chasing followers, you're building friendships. And I don't mean relationships in terms of the business sense. I mean a personal friendship. What is I define that as this. I call you late at night and you pick up the phone. Yeah, that's a friendship. Such that when they see your name on the incoming call screen, they answer it. That's a friendship. You get to that point, you're going to have all the business you want, I assure you. And this is Dale Carnegie win friends, influence people. This is not me, pontificating. This is well proven, folks. And I can tell you from having done it 3 decades, it's true. So the trap is I need views. There's a pastor client, believe it or not, who's like, I just want to grow viewership. Now, in his case, he's a man of the cloth. He's trying to get Jesus' word out. I know where he's coming from. But if you're running a company where people are reaching into their pocket to pay money to buy your stuff, you don't care about views or follower count, high reach. People hate me all the time. I'm like, what's the difference between, can you define organic reach and break down the difference between impressions versus engagements? The reality, if you're in business, you don't care. I mean, top of funnel, I get all that. I know how it works, but the bottom line is these people want to do business with you. They'll find a way. So the fix is your authority and your friendship. Right? Clients come from conversation. I don't care how viral your content went. If they don't trust you, they're not doing anything with you. So stop chasing followers. I'll give you a personal story. I do not have a lot of followers on LinkedIn. I don't. And I've been on LinkedIn since 2007. So I've been there. This is not just, I'm not the guy from yet. And by the way, I've been running my own content strategy firm for 5 years now. 5 years. The last invoice I sent out to a client was for 5 figures. It was a piece of content work I did. It was a ghostwriting thing. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying you don't need a lot of follower count to make yourself a living. And so if you are a large company looking to land bigger clients, if you are a freelancer, soloist, you're, the Justin Welsh solopreneur guy, it's not about how many people you get into the stable, right? Grow your email list. I know the principles. I was on stage at Joe Pulizzi's Creator Economy Expo, what a Content Entrepreneur Expo now, talking to these people. So I understand the mentality, but I'm telling you, this is the 1,000 true followers thing. Kevin Kelly, for those who are familiar. If people are loyal to you, they know, like, and trust you personally through your content even. You don't have to know them. Parasocial relationship. But if they feel that way towards you, they're going to find a way to give you money. Another personal story. Years ago, 2016, 17, I lived near Gary Vaynerchuk's family's wine shop, Jersey. And he was coming up the ranks, and I used to buy wine from this guy when he was a kid, a clerk on the floor. And now he's giving a talk on a Saturday morning for $400 a head to go there and answer questions about how to grow your business with social. I'm working on Wall Street. I don't need this guy's advice. I don't even know what company, but I go. I pay the $400. When it comes time for the 50 people only, by the way, my question comes around. They hand me a microphone. Second floor of the wine library. Gary's like, what's your question, Mark? And I'm like, I don't have one. And Gary's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I honestly, Gary, I just came to support you. He's like, you just paid $400. I'm like, yeah. He's like, why? And I'm like, honestly, I've consumed every piece of content you've put out. I've learned a lot from you. I feel obligated. I just wanted to say thanks. So unrelated to any of that, the guy turns around, signals to one of his little lackeys, and some guy brings over a case of wine, competitor, red wine. He's like, thanks for coming. And I'm like, what a dude. Like, honestly, I'm a fan at this point now, telling the story. Here's my point. This wasn't about follower count. You don't need followers. You need people that feel towards you what I just described. And content can get you there. Mistake number 5, doing it all manually. We live in 2025, an age of AI. You do not need to be manually writing anything. I am no Luddite. I embrace these AI tools. I've sold AI tools for most of my career. Honestly, my entire career, except they were called algorithms at the beginning. So you have to start thinking of, like, how can I use AI? Ideation, outlines, drafts, repurposing, automation sequences, by the way, and I don't mean agents. Agentic workflow is not there yet, and I would not advise that at the moment because it's different every time, and you can't outthink the thing. But AI workflows are different. An AI workflow I would define as this piece does this, that piece does that, and the other piece does the other, and we link them together. That's a Zapier in the old days. It's a Make.com today. And it doesn't matter. I don't care. I'm not here to teach us the software. The concept is use AI so you're not out there cranking on the content hamster wheel every day, because that's what holds a lot of folks back, right? These are the 5 mistakes holding you back. It's just too much to make content all the time. I don't know what to do. I don't want to be on camera, Mark. I don't want to write a blog. I don't want to have to do. You don't have to anymore, guys. Like, personal, interactive live. There's a lot of quick and dirty, easy ways to do this. And I'm not a fan of the faceless. The big trend right now is tell AI, draw a picture of me. Nobody cares. Or the Instagram's going nuts with like AI generated video with AI generated voice teaching me about Marcus Aurelius or whatever the hell. None of that is going to work because it doesn't build personal relationships. But back to this again, friendships. Get to the point where people can know, like, and trust you. And you can use the AI tools to do it. There's so many examples. I can AI everything about you, meaning I can pull with AI all the data I need from what you've posted publicly. I can know your birthday, your favorite sports team. I can send you a gift on the day. I can do things to build rapport. And the one thing I would caution, do not use AI to build direct relationship, not in the direct. When you're actually engaging with a human being, you've got to be there because people can tell, number one. And number two, that's just dishonest, right? I mean, I'm okay with using the AI to craft outlines, to get me the data, to get me to the 3rd and a half base. But to get the home plate, build that relationship, shake a hand, it's got to be you. Content is the gateway to relationship. In-person friendships, I'm talking. There's a dude... There's a newsletter I follow, Marketing Spark. I'm a big fan of Mark Evans. Mark, if you ever hearing this, shout out to you. We developed a rapport through social over the years. Eventually, we meet for beers in New York City. That story gets repeated gazillions of times over. I'm sure you have your own version of it, of people you run into at a conference, or you got to know someone before you got to know them, and then you met them. This is what relationship building is these days. It starts in content. And so you can't fake the funk on a nasty dunk. If you're going to be using AI to pretend it's you, and that includes the direct messages. This is one last story I'll share with you. Yesterday, I'm in my DMs on LinkedIn. I get hit up by some dude. He's like, hey, love to connect with you. What is it that you're doing to build your brand? We can get you leads, all that crap. You could just sense it was automated. So I'm like, hey man, if this is automated, you've destroyed your brand. And if you tell me you're not automated, then we have an honesty problem. So are you AI? Long time response. Took about 10 or 15 minutes. It finally responded with the same exact question that I hadn't answered. Hey, I just wanted to know what you were doing to grow your brand, what you find interesting. Are you any tactics or strategy? Because we can. And I'm like, dude, you didn't respond to my question. That's it. The DM comes back again about 2 minutes later. Yes, it's AI. He says that. And I'm like, okay, so now what? I wrote this. So now what? Chat back to it. I realize I'm wasting my time with an AI. It never responded. The point I'm making is that person who will remain unnamed will never get my business, ever. Like, not in a gazillion years. And if that's you, then that's you. And I know who you are. So my point is, you can't build relationship with AI direct. You have to use it as a tool for the background support stuff to then build human to human. And that may be too much hand-to-hand combat for people, but that is what it is in the future, because folks will do business with people they know, like, and trust. When there's money of significance involved, it's going to be the person that decides to do business with the person. And that's it. That's it. So that's where we are. I'm done. I'm actually back.